Hey guys, it's Kelly, pastor, police chaplain, relationship coach. I help people succeed in relationships by communicating better. And I'm here with another relationship suggestion for you. A common mistake that I make is the way people see their relationship as being kind of static. And by static, I mean that they look at it in terms of off and on. You know, if you go to a hardware store and you ask somebody there for a light switch, they're going to ask you what kind of light switch you want. And I don't know if you know this, but there's actually a couple of different kinds of light switches. The first kind that we're probably all familiar with is called a toggle switch. You've seen that before. That's where you go in and it's like off and then on, up and down, on or off. And we think, a lot of people that I've been in contact with think that that's how relationships work. You're either good or you're bad. You're either off or you're on. Okay. So the reality though is that it's more like another kind of light switch. And the other kind of light switch that you're going to see in a hardware store is called a dimmer switch. Now, you know what a dimmer switch is. The most common type are the ones that have a knob. And, if you want the light to be on full bright, you take the knob and you turn it up. Or if you want it dimmer, you turn it down. So that's how a dimmer switch works. Or maybe another way to look at it is a volume knob on something like a radio or a stereo or in your car, that you turn it up and it's at 10 and then you can turn it down because you don't want your radio blasting your ears out. Okay. So, either way, the image of a dimmer switch or a volume switch is a little bit more accurate to what is actually going on in your relationship. Let me explain. Okay. When you first got married or your relationship first got started, maybe that thing was pegged out at a 10. I mean, everything was great. You love this person or you're falling in love with this person. There's no conflicts. There's no issues. There's no challenges. And it is just full speed ahead. And then you get married and then you have a honeymoon. And maybe even for the first couple of years, your relationship is just sailing smooth at a 10. Okay. But then, as we all know, life happens, right? What am I talking about? Well, you get busy or, you have certain problems or challenges or you have conflicts or then you have kids. Kids have a way of turning down the intensity and quality in your relationship just because your focus goes on them. So what happens is that at one point, maybe your relationship was at a 10, but now it's been turned down to maybe a 5 or a 6. And then if you don't deal with it, it's going to continue turning down. So maybe it's at a 4 or a 3 or even below that. And if you get below a 3, you're probably thinking to yourself, we need some help because we don't know how to fix what's going on. So what I want to suggest to you here today is think of your relationship like that dimmer switch. And when it's starting to turn down too low because life has been happening, problems are coming, challenges are there, and it's turning down the intensity or the quality or the strength of your connection with that special person, what do you got to do? Turn it up. That's it. All you got to do is turn it up. And how do you turn it up? Well, maybe, start going out on dates again. You used to do that all the time every week and have these long phone calls and, before you got married. But now that you're married and you got kids and COVID's here and all this stuff, when's the last time you took that special person out to dinner? Maybe buy her a gift, guys, right? Or flowers or something. And here's the secret. Do it just because. What do I mean by that? A just because gift is a gift that you give just because you love her. It's not her birthday. It's not Valentine's Day. It's not Mother's Day. It's just because. So go to the store, find a little something. The money doesn't matter, or you write her a note or you buy her a card or something. Just because gifts are huge and she's going to love you for it. Or maybe you have the ability to leave the kids with a grandma or grandpa like me and go out for a weekend or a night away and just have a little short trip, a time where you can just spend some quality time together. See, these kinds of things, what do? They reconnect you to your spouse or to your significant other. And what happens is that it turns up the volume. So my suggestion for you today is don't think of your relationship as simply off or on, good or bad. Recognize that it's going to be, that it adjusts, that it's going to go up and it's going to go down because life happens. And when it starts going down, you got to reach in and grab that knob and you've got to turn it back up.